in our midst. We have the KUCCPS staff, but most important, we have the students. They are no longer students. They are 2025 KCSC candidates, and those who did their exams in previous years. We also have some parents among us. We have teachers and guardians, and also other people who are interested in what KUCCPS does. We called this meeting for two reasons. One, to give you an update on where we are on matters placement, and secondly, to get to let you know where what is ahead of us. For those who have a lot of questions, both those who have been placed, who have secured the placement, and those who have not yet secured placement, and also to take this opportunity to answer as many questions as we can that you may be having this evening that relate to placement. Let me start by congratulating those who received a message saying that they have secured one of their choices. What we do not release the information on where, because this is a process that is continuous. And once we get everyone securing their placement, we go now through a process of validation and a process of approvals at different levels, all the way to the ministry. So before that is done, we cannot start telling you, oh, this is where you have been placed, because we want everybody to receive that message at the same time. What you also realize is that given that you have been able to secure one of your choices, it cannot be anything outside of what you have selected. So when you look at your choice 1A, 1B, 1C, choice 2, choice 3, and choice 4, it is one of those. So after we have placed you, you have gotten that message, we pull you out of the system. So you are not able to access the system to make any choice. Because if we allowed you in, then the whole exercise would be in futility, because you have already secured. So if you go in and you change or apply something else, what happens to the other choice? So we remove you temporarily, so that we only are left with those that have not secured a placement. For the programs, if you see a program that was there before, maybe a program you had even applied, and you don't see it there, it means it has the maximum number of students that can apply for that program. So that is what we call capacities. It has reached 100% of the capacity, and therefore having it there will cause just confusion and more disappointment, because if we put it there and we allow you to apply and we know you will not get in, then it is not fair. So for those reasons, then you find you're not there, and the programs that are full are not there. Now, we have, the question now is what next for those students? Now, once we finish the process, you will now get another message, and we are talking about sometime in, by July. Yeah, you will get a message that will now be very specific, telling you exactly where you have been placed. And within 2 days, you will be able to log into that university and download your admission letter. Once you get the admission letter, you will now log into another system. That is the Higher Education Funds, www.hef.com, which will allow you now to apply for a scholarship or a loan or both. You can apply for both a scholarship and a loan. Now you will have an opportunity to do that application by giving in your details. Now your details are the ones that determine how much you will be eligible for. So we really urge you to give correct information and to ensure that you fill all the areas that are supposed to be filled. So with that, you will be able to know how much to pay, because in the component of the household, how much you will be able to pay, how much the government will give you as scholarship, and how much you will get as loan. So that now becomes the responsibility of a different organization, that is mainly the Higher Education Loans Board, to take you through that. So for us now, we remain with again, the same students who have been placed, who have secured a place. In the event you find that there's the program, you may have met the entry requirements and the cutoff, there will be an opportunity to transfer. So we will open the system and allow students to transfer. Now, I would wish to caution you because, again, programs that have already filled can only be available for transfer if a student transfers out. I want to repeat that. If a program has filled to capacity 100% and it is not available currently, once we open the system for transfer, if a student moves out, that is the only time it will be available for somebody to come in. So don't you don't bank your, all your hopes on the transfer. What we say is, for those who have gotten a placement, secured placement, you have gotten what you applied for. Regardless, sometimes some people say, let me just put the fourth choice for the sake of it. It is not a good idea. You take responsibility for each and every choice you make. Now, for the students who got a message telling them to log in and make another application because they were unsuccessful, I first want to tell you, you should not lose hope, because we still have programs, and as the Commission for University continues to accredit these programs, we continue availing them. So you may find there are programs that are available today that were not available in the first revision. So don't just give up and say there's nothing for you. Keep checking. We have new programs that have been mounted. So for you to make a revision, just like I have said, it has to be just within what is available currently. But you do not need to make another payment. When we sent you the messages, we sent you a message that gave you a reference code. That was your reference code, so that you log in and use that as the payment code that you had already secured, so that you revise your choices without making any more payments. So once that is done, we will close the system. We have planned to close on Friday. And then we will process, send out messages again. And then for those who will be successful, we will be able to send them a message. But those who will not be successful, again, we will give you another chance to revise. Now, as you make your choices, there is a place that says, in case I am not successful in any of my choices, you can be placed in any other program. Now, if you say yes, then we try and match you with a program that is still available. that you qualify for. If you say no, then we leave it at that, and that becomes the end of our engagement at this time, unless you later come and tell us you would like to be considered. That process becomes longer and tedious for both KUCCPS and yourself. So my advice is you'd better say yes. Then if you find yourself in a program that you know may not be favorable, use the opportunity, that the transfer window, to request for a transfer rather than saying no. Now, we also have another category of students who had not made their applications at all in the first round. Now, those students are making their applications now for the first time. So you follow the guided steps on how to make an application. But unfortunately, then because you are coming in late, you may not even have an opportunity to see the programs that were there. There has been a lot of questions around medicine. Everybody feels they meet the minimum, but they did not get, they are still being asked to revise their choices, and now medicine is not there. I want to just let you know that we have other programs other than medicine that are marketable in the world today. Medicine is not the end. Now, in the country, we have less than 1,000 places. If we combine both public universities and private universities, the slots that we have for medicine are less than 1,000. But the people who apply, because they meet the minimum, and the minimum 4 Bs, a B in English or Kiswahili, a B in maths, a B in chemistry, and a B in biology. So many people meet that minimum. But because of the competition, if we look at the students who got an A, we have about 2,000 students who scored an A. It means even if all the 2,000 students applied and we have less than 1,000 places, we will have to leave out some students with an A. So in this case, if we have 2,000 A's applying, we have another number of almost 5,000 A minus applying. And then we have B plus. Definitely a person who has a B will not get even a straight A. Can a B, an A minus or a B plus is not possible to get, but that doesn't mean you don't qualify. Since you have we just have limited resources. So I know that fills most of the questions in the chat from parents saying my child got medicine, applied for medicine, qualified for medicine, but got a message asking them to reapply. It is for that reason. And many other programs. Engineering, these are programs that are very expensive to mount. So we may not have as many capacities as we would wish. And therefore, that's where now placement comes in, the placement service, so that we are able to ensure that the process is fair. Yeah, I'm trying to see how I can read the messages. So allow me to now look at, to discuss those again who did not get their choices, because I know those are the majority in the webinar this evening. So like I've said, don't give up, still go for a course, look for a course. The course may be available. The same course that you applied could be available in a different university. So before you give up, just look at the university and see, could there be a same program, but it is available in another university, then you can apply. Let me also request, because there are so many messages coming in, I can see some saying this is the situation. Yes, this is by situation. And there are a lot of questions. How come grade A plain missed medicine? Like I have said, we had 2,000 students with A, even if they all applied for less than 1,000 places. There is an A of 81. There is an A of 84. There is an A of 79. So again, it also depends. If we I can tell you the students who got to medicine have all straight A's in the subjects, in all their subjects. Unlikely it is that somebody the cluster subjects can get an A, can get medicine because of the high competition. But I don't want us to spend a lot of time in this discussion talking about one program, because we are here and some of us have a C, some of us have a C plus, and we would like to take advantage of this time to discuss more. Now, for students who are applying for diploma courses, we will be releasing that information in due course. I can say in the next by Friday. By Friday, we should be letting you know those who applied for diploma courses. Now, there are also questions around KMTC. Like I said in the last webinar, those who sat for KCSE 2025 and would like to apply for programs in KMTC, we will have another intake for KMTC for the September intake. So by July, we should have advertised. So you may have wanted to apply for KMTC, so you did not make any application at all, any application for university, then you have a chance then. Now, for those who have already secured a placement in university, if you have made an application for the university and you have received a message that says you have provisionally secured a place, you cannot apply for KMTC in September, because our academic year is from September. So students who are going in September, you cannot be having two placements. You are either in KMTC or Utalii or School of Law or other TVET institutions or university. Now, if you have secured a place and you think you'd like to now try KMTC, you can do that for the March class, for March 2027. That is when we will have an opportunity for you if you have already secured a place. You're saying, I think the previous method of just mentioning the courses of your choice and being placed later is better rather than completing missing placement. Mentioning the courses of your choice and being placed later. Well, what you need to know is that we are guided by the law, and your choices are what are important. So we will be able to go through these questions and try and answer as many as possible. I have my colleagues on board who will help me answer some of these questions. So I request Professor Oluoch, who's the director, placement, and Mr. Paul Juma, if you're on this call, just get ready so that we go down these questions and try and answer as many as possible within the time that we have. Please avoid giving us your grades, your results online, because one, this is your information that you're making public, and we will not be able to even address an individual questions. So please avoid giving us your grades and your details here. If you have personal questions about that, you can, where you need to share your grades, please get in touch directly with one of our officers, with our Huduma centers, and with the institutions that we have listed on our website, that we have officers going around. We will be adding the officers outside, going out of the office to all the parts of the country, just to ensure that we answer your questions. So just to start with, the first one, please, Glenn Odera, all that information on why you did not make, how comes she didn't secure. It is because she applied for a course that she didn't, there were people who had higher grades and therefore should go in and choose another course. So when will the KMTC September intake open, and also the enrollment to teacher training college, respectively? For KMTC September intake, I have said by July we should have the advert out. For teacher training college, we have a freeze for now. We are guided by the ministry that the only ones who will go in September are those who will be upgrading. Those who are already teachers, the ones they call P1 teachers, who are primary teachers, will be admitted for September to upgrade to diploma teachers. So we have taken a break for now with the teacher training, the 34 training colleges. And again, what does it mean when a course has no cluster points? Now, if you look at your system, if your platform, your dashboard, and the cluster points read 000, it means the courses under that cluster. The courses under that cluster have subjects that are required. And if you did not do those subjects, or even one of the subjects that are required, then it will read 00. I can give an example. Where you have a program, an education program, or a program that has a foreign language like German or French, Bachelor of Arts in German. If you did not do German, then on your cluster dashboard, it will show 000. If you want a program like engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, and you did not do physics, then it will write 000, because you do not meet any, you don't have the required cluster subjects for that for that course. So what happened to my questions? Oh. So there's a question on when will HELB applications start. HELB application will start in July, the second week of July. That's around 9th of July. And we will make an announcement in relation to that. So I have answered there was a clause that asked if one is willing to be placed elsewhere. What if someone agrees? Will they still miss placement? No. If your answer is yes, you will not miss placement at all. You will find yourself in one of the programs, which, but that will apply right at the end. So for now, still go ahead, choose a program. If you don't get any of those, we will open again, choose another one. It is after that third round that if you don't get, then we will be able to put you in a program that we can match you and allow you an opportunity to transfer. Mr. John Otieno says, my daughter was not able to submit the application before the deadline because the M-Pesa verification was not going through. Can she apply now? The answer is yes, but please confirm with us, because if the payment went through, please don't make another payment. Use that verification code to pay, to make the application. Applied for KMTC for clinical medicine and surgery, having met the minimum requirements for the course. However, I was not placed. Can I apply for the same course in September intake, or when not placed in March intake, you can't be placed in September intake? I would wish to know which year you sat your exam. Because if it is 2025 and you have a university placement, I would advise you to wait for March. If you did 2025 and you do not have a university application, you can go with the September intake, which we will have advertised by July. When are the diploma students going to receive their messages? I said this will be coming in on Friday, so please be patient. Can one take a course even with one subject lower than its requirements? The answer is no. What we call cluster subjects, those are a must. You have to have passed those subjects. So there is no way you can go for a course. If the minimum requirement was a C+, then it has to be a C+. Where we have some courses, we give an option of a C in biology or a C+ in agriculture. So unless there's that specification, you cannot apply when you have lower marks. For those who missed out this year, we have an issue. Public universities are not available. Diploma courses are not in the portal. Teacher training colleges is not available. We are therefore unable to choose our preferred courses. Ezekiel Juma, that is not the case. We have over 500 degree programs that are on the portal in public universities. We have diploma courses, and diploma application is always on a continuous basis. It's not once a year. You can apply, you can go in and do your modules any time of the year. For teacher training colleges, like I have said, for this time we have put a stop until we get further guidance from the ministry. Right now, what we are doing is an upgrade of the P1s. Please let us know if diploma courses are available for revision. Yes, they will be available. About revising, do the diploma students reapply? Please don't reapply before Friday, because once we let you know where you have been placed, then you can be able to make an application. I said, Kennedy, let us avoid putting our details on the portal here. But all the same, you have said my names are Kennedy Morioki with a mean grade of A-, but I'm not placed. Yes, Morioki, it is because one of the programs, the courses you applied, they may have filled with people who had higher grades than you had in some subjects. So it is important that you still go in and choose something else. Just looking at your grades there, I can quickly tell you English may have been the one that did you in. because you have very good grades in mathematics, chemistry, and physics. But the language is always important. So English, we have done you in this time. After provisional placement then, Francis, I said, just hold on, relax, don't jam our system because you will not be able to make any application. But just wait, we will send you another message by 7th of July. We should be able to send you a message that will tell you exactly where you have been placed. And after 2 or 3 days, you will be able to download your admission letter from that university. And then you can apply for funding. Hi, can I select another course if I had selected one? As long as your message reads, you going into the system and revise your choices, you can spread your risks by making choice 1A, 1B, 1C, then choice 2, 3, and 4. When you spread you cast your net wider, then that way you are unlikely to miss a program. Let us know when the diploma, I think I have said, there are a lot of questions about the diploma. I know my team is listening and is also reading the questions. That means we quickly need to keep our promise that by Friday, we should be able to let the diploma applicants know where they have been placed. I gave an explanation of medicine, so I can see a lot of questions still around medicine. Kindly understand, if we had enough opportunities, we would pick all of you. But with only 1,000 places in the country, it is not possible that we can all get medicine. I encourage you to look at other health programs, but not just health programs. We also have other programs that are still marketable. ICT is, programs around technology. ICT, that is where the world is going. So let's not box ourselves in the health, in medicine. After all, I just want to remind we have seen how the doctors are also going on the streets looking for employment and asking the government to employ them. So we will soon be having an over, production of doctors. So let's also be careful that we don't get ourselves into a problem in future. Well, medicine is all about passion. It's not about your grades first. You must have a passion for it and a passion for saving lives. I think there's a real craze about medicine. So available institutions are private. No, please log into the system. We have categorized private institutions in a different color and public institutions in a different color. So please be patient, check. You will see we have public universities on our system. So one says, I used the 2024 cluster points and was above all the courses I applied. Why was I still not placed? The 2024 cluster cutoffs are put there to just give you an idea. You cannot make a decision based on that. 2024, we did not have as many A's as we had in 2025. 2024, only 25% of students had C+ and above. 2025, we had 27.9% of students with a C+ and above. The population of candidates in 2024 was totally different, and with over 30,000, the difference was about 30,000. So you are competing among your peers. So the cutoffs are set by you and your peers. So the 2024 cutoffs that we put are just to give you an idea of what it was like then. Then you can make a prediction that with an increase in population and a higher, pass rate, more candidates did better, then chances are the competition is stiffer in your year than it was last year. Can the session be recorded? Yes, you are free to record. This is a public session. We are also recording, so it will be available on YouTube and our other social media channels. At that point, allow me to give an opportunity to Professor Oluoch to continue with the questions from Dominic Thayo, coming all the way down. So, Professor.
Thank you, CEO. The questions are running fast and furious. Some of them, I think, have been addressed. I missed a chance to do a bachelor. I think somebody's scrolling even before I'm able to read all of them. My daughter applied for law as a first priority. Others were just to fill out application form. Can she transfer after joining? I think first and foremost, we do not have a provision or we do not encourage a provision where somebody is filling out spaces for the sake of it. We treat all the applications seriously, and we consider all of them one by one until the student is placed or is advised on revision. So it's the attitude of filling one and then the others are just to fill up spaces. I think it's a general caution that we are giving out. Think carefully through the courses that you want to select and select them knowing that you could land any of them. So the issue of after transfer has been addressed adequately by the CEO. Transfers will happen on capacities that have been left by those who have moved in there. When will we know the university that we have secured a course? Yes, the placement results will be released in July. You keep checking and interacting with our website so that if there are major announcements, you're able to be part of it. The release of the placement results usually is a big activity presided over by the cabinet secretary and receives a lot of media attention. So it will not be something in secret. However, we will still communicate to you your placement status on the 2 telephone numbers that you used on SMS and also update the same on your students portal. So when the placement is over, everybody will know. I used the 2024 cluster points and was above all the courses I applied. Why was I still not placed? That also has been adequately addressed. There are always, year by year, there are more people who get better grades, and therefore the cluster points or the cutoff points that we indicate for the 2 outer years are just to give you an indication of what the 2 previous cohorts were judged on, so that you can very quickly see how far or how near you are to the cutoff. So it is normal, yes, that you may have been slightly above the cutoff for 2024, but you still were not placed and therefore have been given a chance to make a revision. You sent messages saying we have received placement. Why didn't you directly notify us, the university which we were placed? Yes, we did send a message, but if you read the message carefully, there is a use of the word provisional. It's a provisional placement, That is to say, the process is still going on. That is why those who have secured provisionally have been notified and locked or archived. We are still moving with the category that is supposed to revise, as well as those who did not get an opportunity to apply even during the period we opened the portal. So we are still building the numbers. We are still engaged in the application process. When it is done, then we will release the placement results to the country all at the same time, not in piecemeal. Can I select another course if I had selected one? If you selected one course only, which again, generally is something we do not encourage, we would like you to fill all the spaces, make all the selections in all the spaces that are provided. That is also for general information for everybody who is listening to us. If you selected just one course and you received a message that you have been provisionally placed, then you are not able to interact with your portal from your end. That is to say, you will wait until we communicate to you the outcome of that selection. But if you selected one course and you have received a message that you have not been placed, you are required to revise, then go ahead and select more courses. For the one of those who missed out public universities and diploma and so on, that has been addressed. My daughter was not able to submit application before deadline. Can she apply now? Yes, she can apply now because the portal system is open. What happens if you said yes to be placed elsewhere? Will they still miss? If you said yes, or if you agreed to be placed to any other program or institution, if you miss your choices, then at the end of the processing period, you will be given a provisional placement. I mean, you will be given a substantive placement. But if you say no, then we will not be placed. And I think CEO also partly dealt with that. My daughter got a mean grade of A. How come she didn't get placed? That has also been addressed. It is a function of cluster weights and cutoff. So somebody may still have an A or a B or a B plus or whatever, but placement is based on capacities, and it is a function of so many people running after few capacities, for instance. And once the capacity is filled up, the last student to be placed to fill the capacity sets the cutoff. And therefore, anybody falling below the cutoff will not be placed. When will we know the university that we have secured a course? Yeah, I've already dealt with that in July. I've not been placed anywhere, and I have applied for diploma in nursing. If you have applied for diploma in nursing, that is to say you applied for KMTC. And in the last placement, the program in question was not available. It wasn't availed because they were filled up. So that is to say you applied previously some time back and you have not been placed. The advice that I want to give is when we open the portal next time for KMTC, continue submitting your application when that program is next availed. I missed a chance to do a bachelor's course during application. I now want to do revision to do a diploma course. In the portal, there are no diploma courses. Why or when will they be available? Yes, that has also been addressed. But remember, there is a diploma you can for TTCs, for secondary TTCs, you can select or search if there is still a chance for diploma in the TTCs. However, diploma in TVET institutions will be availed in the next few days. The other question, I think most of them are, is it a magical month? No, I don't understand what that means. A magical month, no. Is it that there is use of quotas, as in schools or regions cause many high achieving students with cluster weights of 44 to 45 misplacement in course whose cutoff previous years has never crossed 42? There are two parts to that question. The first part is about quotas. No, we do not apply any form of quota system in application. Applications are considered based on merit, based on capacities, based on cluster weights. So there is no provision of quotas in schools or regions for that matter in competitive placement like this. The second part of the question is students with cluster weights of 44 to 45 misplacements for courses whose cutoff previous years has never crossed 42. Yes, it is true that some cutoffs have risen because we have more people who have qualified chasing for more programs. The next is, Prof, talk about courses in private colleges. We have private universities where we place students. We do not place students in private mid-level colleges. And we have 43 public universities. Whenever you get into your portal and select a university, immediately upon doing that, you're able to see what the status of that university, whether it is public or private. If it is public, it is indicated as such in green. If it is private, it is also indicated as such in green. Now, the issue about whether you go to public or you apply to public or private university is, if you choose a public university, then you qualify for government scholarship as well as help loan. So then you will have a way of supporting your education financially from the government based on your help loan based on your need, and government scholarship, of course, based on the program, the cost of the program, and how much your need is. If you choose to be placed in a private university, you do not have access to government scholarship. And therefore, that means that you will pay, or you or your household or your family will meet nearly the entire cost of your program. Then for private mid-level colleges, no, we do not place students in that. However, we place students in public TVET institutions within the Ministry of Education, and also in other public TVET institutions outside the Ministry of Education, that is in other government ministries. So we've been talking about KMTC. KMTC is not in the Ministry of Education, it's in the Ministry of Health. We've been talking about Utalii. Utalii is not in the Ministry of Education, it is in the Ministry of Tourism, and so on and so forth. So all those are categorized as public institutions. That should suffice for public, private. Talk about who did 2023. If you sat for KCAC from the year 2000 to date, you are eligible to apply to a diploma program in the public TVET institutions. You are also eligible to apply to a degree program in the Open University of Kenya. Open University of Kenya is a public or a government-owned university where if you are placed in, you qualify for government scholarship as well as government loan. That is HELB. That is for category of the year KCSE 2000 to date. However, if you start for KCSE in the last 2 years, that is 2024 and 2023, but for whatever reason you are not able to submit your application for a degree program because you scored C+ and above, and now you'd like to apply for university, you do an email to info@kuccs.ac.ke with the reference request for consideration for late application. You indicate your KCSE year, your KCSE index number, the reason why you did not apply with your cohort, just that. And then, of course, you express your desire that you wish to be considered for late placement. That is for the last 2 years. So we are talking about up to and including 2023. So for those of 2023, 2024 who missed to apply during their cohort, that is the way to go about it. But if you want to apply to the Open University of Kenya, then you just apply directly without having to write that email. You just apply to OUK directly. I applied for diploma course, but I already had qualified for degree course, but I did my KCSE in 2024. If you applied for diploma course in 2024, that is last year, the other year, and you qualified for degree program, and you now want to pursue your degree course or join the university, you will get an opportunity to transfer when the portal is open. That is if you were placed to a diploma course in a TVET institution. What if one has tried already to log in for help, but I haven't finished placing all the details? Well, you cannot apply for help now because you have not been given a substantive placement. Hence our use of the word provisional. So when we release officially the placement results, we will even direct you to the help and HEF portal where you will be able now to apply for your scholarship and help. That question is repeated. Can more opportunities be available for students wanting to do medicine? Please, we are suffering even after working hard. The issue of opportunities, what you are calling opportunities is called capacities on our side. So the institutions, the universities, the colleges always declare the capacities that they can take. Of course, with the approval of the Commission for University Education for degree programs and TVETA for TVET programs. So as KUCCPS, we cannot place more than the capacities that have been declared and approved for each and every institution per program. Is there any issue in case you already applied for a parallel program and through KUCCPS as well? Parallel programs or what some people call Module 2 or self-sponsored programs are conducted between you, the student, and the university directly. So it doesn't stop you from coming to your KUCCPS portal and applying normally as a KUCCPS student, because the issues of self-sponsored or Module 2, those ones are conducted directly with using those universities' individual websites or portals. What if one has tried already to log in for help? Now that has repeated, we have addressed it. My daughter has worked hard to meet all the requirements for a law degree. She was not placed in 2 institutions selected, and she still wants to do law. What happened so that she does the course of her dream? This is a function of capacities and programs. So if you are not able to view a program when you search either by institution or by name during the period of revision, then you know that those programs are filled up, and once filled up, we archive them. So all the programs that have not been filled up and all the programs that have capacities have been availed. But I also need to clarify that you could check. Maybe there are new programs that have been recently approved and they have been uploaded into the system. So they may not necessarily be filled up. Like there's a university, a public university with a program in a branch of engineering. So you can check if you're interested and apply, because the program has been approved and uploaded after we sent the messages. So you can check, just check by name of the program. Don't get into the portal and begin to scroll, because we've received a lot of information, a lot of calls and queries where parents or students just log in and then they want to read the programs from A to Z, Bachelor of Arts, down. There are so many programs, you may not be able to read each and every one of them. What you do is search that program of your choice or of your desire by name. And if it is available, you will see the institutions or the universities that are offering it, and then you can make your selection from there. The other, what if one has tried already? No, the help question has been done. Yeah, I think most of the questions that are coming up now, CEO, are repetitive. And we would say that, hello, I did my KCSE 2024. I did my application for a degree course and secured a chance to pursue Bachelor of Arts, but I didn't join the institution. Kindly help me get inter-school transfer. When the portal is open for transfer, you will log in. The issue of inter-university transfer is a system-based, or inter-institution transfer is a system-based activity. You will log in. If a student has moved out of that program, it means a capacity or a vacancy has been created, which you can then be accepted to in that university which you desire to move to. Which message do you receive when you are placed in a different degree program apart from the one you selected? The messages that we will send to students on where they have been placed are uniform. So it will tell you we will congratulate you. It will tell you the university or the college that you have been placed in, and the program that you have been placed in. And it will even further tell you that the university or the institution will get in touch with you for more details regarding admission letter and other joining instructions. We share the same file with the respective universities, and then they will get in touch with you and communicate the outcome or tell you when to report and when to download and how to download your admission letter, fee structure, and so on. The question of help we have answered. Private universities we have talked about. I think basically we have exhausted the questions to the extent that I can see them. CEO, you can have it back. Yes. Unless there is any other new question, because I've tried to scroll through, and looks like we have addressed all the questions. So that being the case, I'm seeing one of Open University of Kenya. If one applied for a course offered at OUK during the second revision through KUCCPS, how will one know they have been placed there? Yeah, we communicate the placement results both to the students and to the institution, like I've said. Yeah, I think now we may call the session to an end, there being any other questions or queries. I'm looking for someone to close. Judy, are you in? Judy, are you in? Judy Chebet, are you on the call? Any KUCCPS staff that can close with a word of prayer? Madam Christine Mwaka? Madam Christine Mwaka? Or they are not able to unmute. Madam Christine Mwaka, are you in?
Yes, Prof.
Why don't you please close the session for us with a word of prayer, if you don't mind?
Okay, thank you. I was muted. That's why I wasn't able to unmute. Let's bow down for a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you with thanksgiving in our hearts. Thank you for the opportunity to hold and having held this meeting and what we've been able to disseminate to prospective students. God, we pray that you continue giving us wisdom as we discharge our duties, and also for the students as they continue doing their revision. I pray shortly in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very, very much, and good night, everyone.
Good night.